In the darkest corners of Philadelphia's history lies a chilling tale that haunts the city to this day. The story of Gary Heidnik, one of America's most disturbing serial unalived. Born in 1943, Heidnik's early life was marked by dysfunction and trauma. He grew up in a broken home, suffered from mental health issues, and spent time in and out of psychiatric facilities. But what seemed like a troubled past would eventually evolve into something far more sinister. On the surface, Heidnik appeared somewhat successful. He was an Army veteran who later became a licensed practical nurse and even managed to amass considerable wealth through savvy stock market investments. He even founded his own church, the United Church of the Ministers of God, where he appointed himself as bishop. But behind this facade of normalcy, a monster was lurking. Between late 1986 and early 1987, Heidnik embarked on a reign of terror that would shock the nation. He nabbed 6 African-American women, holding them captive in a pit he dug in the basement of his Philadelphia home. The horror these women endured is almost beyond comprehension. They were chained, beaten, and subjected to unimaginable physical and psychological abuse. The basement of his house on North Marshall Street became a chamber of horrors. Heidnik kept his victims in a pit filled with water, occasionally administering electric shocks. He would force them to fight each other for food and subjected them to various forms of abuse. 2 of his victims, Sandra Lindsay and Deborah Dudley, didn't survive their captivity. Lindsay was unalived and dismembered, with parts of her body being ground up and mixed into the food he fed to his other captives and his dogs. The nightmare finally ended when one of his victims, Josefina Rivera, managed to gain Heidnik's trust and convinced him to let her go temporarily. She immediately contacted the police, leading to Heidnik's arrest on March 24, 1987. The surviving victims were rescued, but they would carry the psychological scars of their ordeal for the rest of their lives. During his trial, Heidnik's defense team attempted to prove he was insane, but the jury wasn't convinced. The evidence of his methodical planning and attempts to cover his tracks suggested he was fully aware of his actions. He was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree unaliving, along with abduction, sexual assault, and other charges. On July 6, 1999, Gary Heidnik met his end via injection at the State Correctional Institution at Rockview. He became the last person to be unalived in Pennsylvania to date. His case would later partially inspire the character of Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs, cementing his place in the dark annals of criminal history. This disturbing chapter in Philadelphia's history serves as a reminder of the evil that can lurk behind seemingly normal facades, and the importance of remaining vigilant in our communities. The survivors' strength and resilience in the face of such horror continue to inspire, while the tragedy of those who didn't survive reminds us of the devastating impact of human cruelty. Like, comment, subscribe for more unknown serial killers.